Live from the Robert Lenahan Field in Bedford, Nova Scotia, you are watching the 2019 Under-16 Girls Invitational National Baseball Championships on 360 Live. Hi, everybody. My name is Dan Hobson. Nova Scotia 2, who came into today tied for first with British Columbia on top of the standings, will host Prince Edward Island. Prince Edward Island is in a logjam for third place at 1-1. Nova Scotia 2 at 2-0. Team Nova Scotia hitting the field in their blue and white jerseys, and Prince Edward Island in the green and whites. So let's get to that starting lineup, shall we, for Prince Edward Island. Batting first will be the left fielder, Kirsten Rogers. Batting second, Emily Gardner, the shortstop. Batting third, center fielder, Victoria Surratt. Third baseman will be Selena Ford. Jenna Pickering is the extra hitter. She'll bat fifth. Batting sixth, first baseman, Ella Nicholson. Batting seventh, Lily Atkins. She'll do the pitching. Second baseman is Carly Snow in the 8th spot. Claire Keogh will do the catching, bat 9th, and Michaela Taylor will be the right fielder, hitting in the 10th slot. And they will be facing pitcher Leah Copeland. Copeland catches for this team. She pitched a little bit. She'll be asked to probably go a couple of innings here today. We'll have to wait and see. So let's check the Nova Scotia 2 defense. Vanessa Dort will be the left fielder. The center fielder is Abby Ashton. Right fielder is Allie Pellerin. From third to first, it's Graves. Duck, the shortstop. Paquin, the second base person. Strong, the first base. And in behind catching, Elias Strong. And that's the defense there. Kevin Purchase, one of the umpires. He'll be the first base umpire along with Ingrid Helmke and Liam Oravec, the home plate umpire for this one. Overcast skies, temperature probably right around about 21, 22 degrees, but the humidex makes it feel like it's 20 or 30 degrees. So it feels a little bit warm, but the sun is not out. Overcast skies as Roger steps in. The first offering here by Copeland is a strike. 12:28, the official start at game time. So we're on pace. Of course, other games taking place. We've got on the Joan Lenahan, Newfoundland taking on New Brunswick. So that will be our update game. I'll let you know what's going on in that one. So you can actually stay here and watch this one. There's a foul ball going through the batter's box there. Gardner has to do a skip to Malou. It was interesting before game time, some of the gamesmanship, is that Jenna Jackson, the head coach of Nova Scotia 2, was doing a little bit of a juggling act. The crowd was into this one early, and speaking of early, so is Rogers now with the Island. Prince Edward Island getting things started with a single right back up the middle. Just a little bit too far out of the reach of Ashton. So this will bring Emily Gardner to the plate. Of course, Rogers was from Trackety Cross, Prince Edward Island. Highest in academics at grade 11 graduation. Plans on attending university and is a Toronto Blue Jays and Kevin Pillar fan. Of course, Emily Gardner plays for the Northside boys Pee-wee AA team. Left-hand hitter. Being able to attend these nationals is her highest accomplishment. She gets jammed on that one and fights it off. No balls and one strike. Plays AAA hockey during the winter and spring. She also shows Belgian draft horses with her family, lead singer of the school rock band. So I bet you she'd be good at these sing-alongs at these baseball diamonds. They were actually doing a sing-along before this game started. And PEI was pretty vocal with the old Neil Diamond, ba ba ba, to Sweet Caroline. Copeland deals. Here's a ground ball, could be two, but it gets too far as Graves, that eats her up. So back-to-back singles. This brings Victoria Surratt to the plate. Out of Darnley, Prince Edward Island, representing PEI at the Nationals was her greatest accomplishment, is a part-time kitchen staff at Victoria Fromagerie in Prince Edward Island. likes Kawhi Leonard and the Toronto Raptors. Kawhi Leonard is signing with the Los Angeles Clippers. That might have changed. All-star basketball players enjoy serving up delicious poutine working at her mom's restaurant. So it's a family-owned business. There's a foul ball that Strong lost. Started doing the Tasmanian Devil and doing a little spinning around. But unable to come up with anything that time. So second life here for Surratt, the center fielder. Joy's listening to music with her friends, so you got to wonder what type of tunage she likes. Wonder if she likes that new recent top 40 song from Lights. Why Can't I Make You Love Me? That's a pretty good song, don't you think, folks? Bit of an 80s fan myself. This one's sent to the right side. Pellerin there was looking it over, didn't get there in time, so it's going to be well foul. Haven't seen much in terms of teams squaring the bunt so far here at these championships. And swing away. There's a chopper. Works out to be a swinging bunt. Copeland off the mound and throws it high. It's too high for Strong to come up with. Rogers scores. Rounding third is Gardner, and she'll take a good look. And an error to the pitcher results in a run. Worked as a swinging bunt. Surratt will stay at first. Gardner over to third. Selena Ford. Out of Summerside, Prince Edward Island. There's a rip to right center, and that will drop. And Gardner scores. And rounding second on her way to third is Surratt, and Ford in with a single. 3 singles and an error. 2 runs for Prince Edward Island. Nobody out. Jenna Pickering coming to the plate. Copeland not fooling anybody. Pickering out of Borden Carlton, Prince Edward Island. Plays with the Kensington Crusaders as that's popped back and out of play. There's a pop-up. This should be easily played here. Copeland and Strong calling on it. And they come together for it. And they make the catch. Is Strong. Ball, Graves eats it up, but she'll throw it over to second and actually throw it into the outfield, so Ford is allowed to go up to third. Atkins the pitcher now. Not the start that Nova Scotia was hoping for. They are in the hole, and they've been in trouble once again. Easy access there for Nicholson to stride on down the second base. Three runs for Prince Edward Island so far. Wind starting to go. This time it's switched. It's been going from foul pole to foul pole. This time you can feel it going pretty well, blowing out from right field into the batter's box. So hitter's thinking about trying to hit one deep. The wind may pull it back. Ball hit the short. Duck knocks it down, loses her footing. The time she throws it over. Kevin Purchase with the call. Safe as Atkins reaches on an error. Ford comes in to score 4-0. Carly Snow coming up. The Summerside PEI AA Chevys player. Kensington Wild Major Midget Hockey Team organization. They do very well. Had a very disappointing East Coast Ice Jams, which we covered a few months back, but they gave it a strong run. They were definitely entertaining, a world-class organization. That's her favorite team, and her favorite player is Caleb Snow. I remember covering him, so brother-sister duel. Family dog is Teddy. He's almost 18 years of age. Feed Teddy. He's been a good dog. Atkins going to go down and take second. Thank you very much. Second and third again. Claire Keogh, the catcher, in the 9th spot on deck. Four runs so far on the board. Ball goes to the backstop, but no advancement there as Nicholson thought better of it. Nova Scotia 2 came in tied. There's a ground ball, well foul. Tied for first with British Columbia. This is not going to help them stay stride for stride with the team from out west. Another thing about Carly Snow, she's looking forward to starting junior high, would like to be a physiotherapist. Currently umps baseball, so you see a lot of players also do that. This time the umpire will ring her up. Be the second out. This will send Claire Keogh to the plate. Keogh out of Cape Traverse, Prince Edward Island, playing for 8 years, winning Baseball Athletics in 2016 as an under 14. Wants to be an architect. Claire works as a coach for the Canadian Baseball Association over in Prince Edward Island. Looks at a ball high. She's also into multiple sports. Volleyball, basketball, hockey, football, soccer. All-around athlete, and they'll step out of the box. Back in again. Settles down. Gets jammed on that, and that one will sail over into the other field. That will cause a stoppage in play over there. Strong will take it herself and step on the bag, and mercilessly for Team Nova Scotia, it comes to a halt. The first 4 hitters for Prince Edward Island get on base, and they come around to score. 4 runs that inning. Four runs, 4 hits. Error and 2 runners left on. The line score there for Prince Edward Island there in the top of the first. So as the Prince Edward Island team hits the field there, their pitcher is going to be Lily Atkins. And this will be the lineup that Lily will face here, as Jesse Paquin will be the second baseman for Team Nova Scotia. Bat first. Pitcher Leah Copeland bats second. Haley Strong, first baseman, bats third. Batting fourth, Abby Ashton, the center fielder. Chrissy Hagan, the extra hitter, will bat fifth. Maggie Duck, the shortstop, bats sixth. Caitlin Graves, the third baseman, bats seventh. Elias Strong is doing the catching, bats eighth. Allie Pellerin is the right fielder, will bat ninth. And Vanessa Dort is the left fielder in the 10th spot. As we mentioned, Lily Atkins is the pitcher, and this is the defense that will support her this afternoon in the game, going from left field to right. Rogers, Surratt, and Taylor, the outfield. And then third to first, Ford, Gardner, Snow, Nicholson. And behind the plate doing the catching, Claire Keogh. And as we mentioned, Lily Atkins, the pitcher. Atkins out of Stratford, Prince Edward Island, being the youngest player at the Under-16 Girls Nationals in 2017. And she doesn't have to look too far over into the other dugout, as Eve Taylor is 12 years of age here for Team Nova Scotia. She's going to be a spectator to start this one so far. Says that her future plans, Lily, is to probably be in something sports related. Been playing for 10 years. And Paquin will come up to the plate for Team Nova Scotia. And she has been pretty patient so far at the championships. That one's bounced in for a ball. 1 ball count here to Paquin. Right-hand hitter, she has taken her share of walks. Might not be doing it there in terms of hitting, but she has gotten on base. Not afraid to take the walk. Now the count is even as Leah Moravec calls a strike against her. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tough inning for Nova Scotia. 4 errors are saved. Here's a pop-up. And the first baseman there for Prince Edward Island, Nicholson, comes up with it easily there. So Paquin is retired. Leah Copeland, the pitcher. And, of course, you get into innings like that, the pitch count goes up a little bit higher. So that was not what the doctor ordered here for Team Nova Scotia. Copeland plays hockey in the offseason. And she'd like to study kinesiology. Luke Nicholson, you should have had that, buddy. Not sure if our camera caught it, but it was a foul ball. Nicholson, the first baseman, third baseman for the East Coast Royals. Volunteered here at these championships. Falls with the Hammonds Plains Baseball Association. Nice hands, no hands, Luke. And a soft liner that is easily caught there by Snow. Haley Strong from Grand Lake coming up. Haley's sister Elia doing the catching, so both the Strongs in the lineup here as that one's bounced in once again there by Atkins for a ball. There's a rip towards center field, left center, and the center fielder right on that one, making the nice catch. Surratt tracking that one down. Oh, 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits inning there, and none left on, so an economical, easy 3 up, 3 down there for Lily Atkins and the Prince Edward Island team, leading this one by a score of 4-0 as we head to the top of the second. Those white pearls sailing across the diamond out of the ballpark are supplied courtesy of Rawlings, the official baseball of Baseball Canada and all Baseball Canada national championships. Rawlings baseballs have a full grain cowhide leather cover, special glazed seams, and quality wool windings. Rawlings is also the official bat, ball, and helmet of Baseball Canada's national teams. The top hitter at all Baseball Canada championships this year will be awarded a Rawlings bat. Make sure to check out rawlings.com. Top of the second from the Robert Lenahan Field in Bedford, Nova Scotia. Watching the Under-16 Girls Invitational National Baseball Championships. My name is Dan Hobson. Delighted you could have the call. Our producer is Brian Fisher, and the 360 Live crew delighted to be part of these championships. So it'll be the 10, 1, and 2 hitters. That ball will go foul. One strike here to the right fielder. Prince Edward Island with a 4 spot. Here's a ground ball. Graves covers it. Going to throw a short one over. Strong can't handle as it goes by and to the screen. Taylor was thinking about going to second. The coach says, no, stay put. 5th error of the game for Team Nova Scotia. That has been the story. They had 4 in that first inning. Defense not supporting Leah Copeland, and Copeland almost threw that one away. Strong had to come off to field that one. They're back to the top again. Here's a ground ball. Could be 2. Duck sends it over to Paquin. A little bit of a low throw, so they'll only get 1. Rogers reaches on a fielder's choice. Emily Gardner, the shortstop, she singled back in the first. So Taylor and Rogers pretty well switched spots, now down to 1 out. Copeland looks over before coming to the plate to Gardner. Gardner slightly jammed and has to fight that one off. 1 strike. Ground ball back up the middle. Paquin can't handle it, but just recovers in time to get the lead runner. To say that Nova Scotia is booting the ball is 4 unassisted. It's a second out, but it has not been a pretty inning as Surratt, the center fielder, comes up. She reached on an error. That's high. Elias Strong, you don't see this often, a left-handed catcher. Not often you see that. There's a ball ripped back to center, and Ashton has difficulty. So rounding home and scoring there, rounding third and scoring is Gardner. And it makes it 5-0. Surratt with a single and an RBI. She was going to stay at third, but once Ashton had difficulty handling that, she turned on the Jets again. Selena Ford, the third baseman, who singled back in the first. So is this going to be something that Team Nova Scotia can rebound from? So far in their 2 games, they have fallen behind early and found a way to fight back. But is this maybe too big a hill for them to climb? We'll have to wait and see. Stranger things have happened so far here at these championships. Saskatchewan had a 6-2 lead. It ended up being blown out by Quebec in our game earlier today. So anything is possible. 6 errors. The story of this one. 3 hits for Prince Edward Island and 6 errors, so Copeland not really getting much in terms of defense support. There's a single out to right field. Pellerin comes up with it. And rounding third at scoring is Surratt, easily standing up. 6-0 here in the second inning. Ford with an RBI. Jenna Pickering now. Grounds it foul. Four runs, 6 errors, and 6 runs for Prince Edward Island. Ripped back up the middle for a base hit. That handcuffs Ashton, so she'll have to go a long way. Ford's at third. She's given the wave home, and she'll go up standing up. Pickering goes to third. Throw is late, and it gets by Graves, and backing up was Copeland. This is quite shocking. 7 errors so far for Team Nova Scotia. Not what the doctor ordered, that's for sure. Originally had it as 6 runs, so it's here's Ella Nicholson now. Nicholson, the first baseman, singled in that first inning. Bullpen quiet for Nova Scotia, so Copeland's on her own. Literally figurative and, of course, the real situation. Ball gets by Copeland, but nobody's going advance. Pickering not going to think about going for Prince Edward Island. 7 runs, 5 hits, and 7 Nova Scotia errors in this one. Some of the Nova Scotia 1 players were watching this one. Now they're leaving the stands, and they're probably shocked as much as probably we are. There's a foul ball, I thought maybe. It actually hit the batter in the box. Kevin Purchase saying that is a foul ball. The umpire, home plate umpire missed it, but Kevin saw it all the way. He had the same viewpoint that we did. So a foul ball. And now Nicholson will look at ball 4, and she'll head down on a walk. Running to the plate is Lily Atkins. Strong will play behind Nicholson, and she'll give second base easily. Uncontested, no throw from Elias Strong. Being the second inning, it will be officially a stolen base, but pretty well Nova Scotia was saying, you want second base, here it is, take it. There's a pop, and it will get out. Bottom of the second, New Brunswick, Newfoundland, no score in that one. Copeland gets a sign from Elias Strong now. She's in the stretch here with runners at second and third. There's a pitch, a breaking ball. Hit the short, Duck handles it. takes her time, fires over to first, strong with the stretch, and the inning over. But not before they tacked on 3 more. As they stranded a couple there in that second inning. So a 4 spot in the first and 3 spot in the 7th. Prince Edward Island leading this one by a touchdown, 7-0, as Nova Scotia will come to bat there here in the bottom of the second. Nova Scotia crowd, a big fan base here at the Robert Lenahan Field. Must be shocked looking at this one and seeing the results so far. Providing support to many national sport organizations, including Baseball Canada, Sport Canada is directly responsible for the Athlete Assistance Program that provides support to elite baseball players while attending college or university. Sport Canada has been a strong supporter of Baseball Canada for many years and has contributed financially to many activities. A special play ball from Sport Canada. Bottom of the second for Team Nova Scotia due up is Abby Ashton, Hagen, Chris, and Duck. 4, 5, and 6 holes here for Nova Scotia. And speaking of hole, they're in one, 7-0. They have booted it around against Prince Edward Island. It must be a very comforting feeling here for Lily Atkins, knowing that she's got a 7-run lead to work with. So she don't really have to nitpick. She can just pretty well go after these Nova Scotia batters. Nova Scotia, too, came in the day tied with British Columbia for first place. And, of course, there was a log jam there for third, and Prince Edward Island was in it. Abby Ashton, Hammonds Plains, Nova Scotia, will be entering grade 10 at CP Allen High School in Bedford, Nova Scotia. Female Athlete of the Year at Madeline Simmons Middle School for the 2018-2019 school year. Quite an accomplishment when you think of all the athletes that have, attend schools and participate in sports, and to be the top of the mountain in it is quite an accomplishment. She'll send that down to third. Fire over, Nicholson with the stretch, and Ashton goes down. Ford took her time, and so here is Chrissy Hagen out of Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, playing for the Ontario Trailblazers. A senior women's tournament in Virginia was her accomplishment, as she fouls that back into the Nova Scotia fans over their head. And 1 strike here to the extra hitter. She pitched about 5 1/3 solid innings yesterday in their first game. It was a 9-1 win over Newfoundland Labrador, and Hagen continuing to be hot at the plate, comes up with a single there for Team Nova Scotia. This will be their first runner of the afternoon. First hit given up here by Lily Atkins. We'll send Maggie Duck to the plate, the Halifax Red, Nova Scotia 2 player. grade 9 at St. Agnes Junior High and is a big fan of Haley Wickenheiser. She'll slash that up the middle for a base hit. Hagen will put the brakes on at second base. Back-to-back hits for Team Nova Scotia. We'll send the Yarmouth, Nova Scotia native Caitlin Graves to the plate. The 15-year-old. And it looks like they've gone to the bench early as Claire DeReeb will pitch hit here for Graves. There's a hit and a bouncer. Could turn two. They're going to try to get the lead runner, and they have difficulty with that one as the throw is low, and Ford tried to go with a backhand, and all hands are safe. Elias Strong coming up, the catcher. Nicholson's going to play in front. Not going to hold the read, but they are in on the corner, so they do want to stop this run coming to the plate if they can, if it's a comebacker to them. Corners are in, and the middle infield is back. A ball here to the Nova Scotia 2 catcher. Ball that bounces in the dirt. Blocked there by Keogh and keeps it in front. No advancement. Not even a thought there out of Chrissy Hagen to try to go. Strong deals, swing and a miss there by Strong. Atkins, pardon me, deals in Strong with the swing and a miss. Amazing she's still in the stretch, even though the bases are loaded. They're really not anywhere for them to go. Can't really get a good secondary lead. There's a strike outside corner, says Liam Oravec. Good secondary lead here for DeReeb. Bases loaded. The pitch by Strong. Leah Atkins again, pardon me. Atkins misses, has difficulty with that one, but Nicholson right there to Johnny on the spot. Or Ella on the spot. Eight errors combined for the teams here. A big swing by Elias Strong, and she'll sit down. Second out. Elle McFadden now in, so Jenna Jackson not afraid to go to the bench. Elle McFadden in for Pellerin. Left-hand hitter. So it leaves Leah Sauvert and Eve Taylor, the only two players left for Nova Scotia. So far, we haven't even got past 2 innings of play. There's a pop. Is the catcher going to have a play? No, she can't make the play, Keogh. Jackson in the first base box, just puzzled. No answer so far here for Nova Scotia, but they are threatening here. Emily McFadden, there's Elle McFadden with a base hit, and that will plate Hagen. And putting on and turning on the Jets is Duck. She goes in sliding, didn't need to, but Hagen and Duck score and make it 7-2. The Nova Scotia fans have awakened here at the Robert Lenahan Field. DeReeb up to third. Dort batting in the 10th spot here for Team Nova Scotia. Getting her first look at Lily Atkins. DeReeb at third, McFadden at second. Strike 0-1 here to Dort. Dort out of Guysborough, Nova Scotia. There's a rip, and it'll get past and drops down as DeReeb will score. McFadden with an aggressive turn around third, but she'll stay put. As Dort will get a single and an RBI. Back to the top of the order for Team Nova Scotia. And Dort will have easy access to second base as Nicholson was playing behind her. So now it's second and third. Misses with that one, Atkins does. So Nova Scotia picking away. 7-0, now 7-3. Nova Scotia 3-4 and 7. Prince Edward Island 7-5 and 1. A box score here. On our way to probably another high scoring affair. We've seen some here. 32 runs, 29 runs teams have combined so far. Could be in for another one like that. Paquin gets jammed, but gets a piece of it. Well, somebody here at the ballpark celebrating a birthday. Team Nova Scotia 2's one of their spare players, one of the youngest players, talked about her a lot of the championships, Eve Taylor. Her coach, Darcy Murphy's here, and Darcy Murphy's wife, Annette Murphy, is here. She's celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday, Annette. Melky Murphy here, the shortstop there for the under-11 Truro Bearcats team. They're playing the provincials just down the road. Rich Taylor, Eve Taylor was talking to me saying that they were possibly stopping by, and they have. In the meantime, Paquin has worked herself for another walk. That's been her modus operandi here at the championships. Don't worry, Ned, I'll still send you a Facebook happy birthday too. Copeland, the 8th hitter here in the inning. Coach Byrne to the plate, to the pitcher's mound. Quick conversation. Bases are loaded here. And with that, of course, also with 2 outs, Nicholson will play in behind Paquin. That gets by Keogh, and short backstop, nothing much happening there. Everybody stays put. Atkins from the stretch deals a breaking ball that doesn't drop in time. Outfield pretty well straight away here for Copeland. She has been known to take the ball the opposite way here. That's one's well outside. No, there's no really such thing as a pitch out, but that looked like that's what that was, or it was a breaking ball badly missed there for Atkins. That was a bouncer and right in, and Copeland has worked herself for a walk, and that will score a run. Nova Scotia with 4 runs here in this second inning. A bounce back for them, and what started off as a blowout and a runaway here for Prince Edward Island is starting to get a little bit too close for their comfort. 7-4 as the 9th hitter Haley Strong comes up here. Bases juice still. Atkins deals. Fastball. Missed the corner, says Orvac. So go for a ball. 1-0. Atkins working quickly here. Breaking ball. Misses high. 2-0. Haley Strong in the driver's seat. Slightly open stance here for the tall first baseman. And that gets by. Actually, it was lucky. I think it might have got a piece of Orvac, the umpire. But it's 3-0, so we'll see if Strong keeps it on her shoulder and takes one, or she's got to have the green light. See if Jackson gives her swing mode here on 3-0, or if she makes her take one. Atkins sets, deals. Not even close. Ball 4. Strong. 4-pitch walk. Dort will come in to score. That's the 5th run of the inning. 7-5. Abby Ashton up again here in the second inning. Once again, the ball gets past Keogh, but no advancement as Paquin thought about it, but thought better of it. Gabriella Livingston warming up here for Prince Edward Island. Their bullpen busy. Coach Byrne going to check on it. Gave her the hand signal to maybe intensify things. Pitch count here for Atkins getting high, especially when you have those bat-around innings. Ball ripped right center field that drops. Packwood scores. Copeland rounds third and comes in and scores. Got ourselves a ball game. It's Strong up to third. She's the tying run, and Ashton at first. 2 out. 2 RBI single, and Coach Byrne going to check on Livingston to see if she's ready. Seven. My apologies. The runs are just stacking up. You have a funny feeling the team that has last possession there after the 2-minute warning is going to win this game. 7-7. Each team has a touchdown so far in this one. Hagen, the one that got a hit here in the second inning. She was the second batter up. The 11th person to bat here in this very long second inning. Hagen rips it down the line, and that's fair. Strong scores. Ashton comes around. She'll score. Hagen standing up at second base with a double. And that will be it here for Lily Atkins. It's been a strange day here at the ballpark. Pitchers start off looking like they've got their stuff, and then all of a sudden the wheels fall off the bus. The train collapses, whatever term you want to use. The walls come down. Atkins was dealing early. He had a 3-up, 3-down first inning. And Nova Scotia with a 9 spot here in the second. 9 runs on 6 hits. And just one Prince Edward Island error so far. 9-7. May not be a football game. It may be the first of 20 wins. Gabriella Livingston out of Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. She's a 13-year-old, so one of the youngest players here at the championships. Been playing baseball for 7 years, making the PEI girls under 16 national team, and to be able to continue playing the sport she loves. She'll be going to grade 8 at Queen Charlotte. Favorite team is the Blue Jays. Favorite athlete, Vladimir Guerrero. Says her dad was her biggest influence because he's always encouraging me to try my hardest and try new things. Great advice here for this second pitcher of the afternoon for Team Prince Edward Island. And probably asked to put in a lot of innings. As Atkins 3-up, 3-down in the first, but has difficulty and cannot finish the second. So she'll go 1 2/3. Abby Duck to the plate. Singled in the second. 1 for 1. A bat-around inning for Nova Scotia. Livingston deals, and that's a ball. And that's blocked there by Keogh, but in the meantime, Hagen will go up to third. So what does Coach Byrne do here for Team Prince Edward Island? There's a pop-up. Oh, come on, Darson, you should have had that. I wasn't on air. I'd be yelling at him right now as Darson Murphy, of course, the coach of the under-11 team, watching his teammate, Eve Taylor. Also in attendance is Sheldon McDonald, the other coach there for Eve Taylor. Sheldon, the pitcher for the Sydney Sooners. He had a complete game yesterday at the Nationals in Chatham and Miramichi. I think it was a 7-hitter I think he had. In the meantime, Duck will go down to first on a walk. DeReeb, who pitched hit for Graves, reached on a fielder's choice. Nicholson playing behind Duck, so she'll take second pretty easy. Good secondary lead. She's off, and they're not going to be a throw. Keogh knew that. Kind of interesting, the philosophy on that one is that you got 2 outs. And you play it in behind. And the circus music is sort of played here at the Robert Lenahan Field as they can't seem to get the ball to Livingston. McFadden with the overthrow. Nicholson with the overthrow. Now we're ready to deal. Darib ready. Takes that one. Just missed for Livingston. Hagen at third, Duck at second. Went with the same pitch, and this time gets the call there from Oravec. Might have been in just a little bit more. So it's a 2-2 count here to the third baseman. There's a bouncer, and it's going to roll foul. Saw one that started in fair territory, foul territory, and rolled back fair. For those from Prince Edward Island, maybe just tuning in here for the first time, this is the Robert Lenahan field. Pretty well, no real surprises. There's a little slight slope there on the lines down first and third base. Livingston offers. There's a pop. Is playable. Third baseman can't handle it, but has the decency to get with a bare hand. Ford was trying, bobbled it, bounced up, bare hand to first. Nicholson wasn't ready. It wasn't on the bag. If she was, could have possibly got the out. Go as an error. And this long second inning continues now as Elias Strong, the catcher, the left-hand hitting catcher, comes up here. Don't often see too many left-hand catchers, right-hand hitters Hagen making it 10-7, a 10-run second inning. We haven't had a scoreless inning in this game so far. Prince Edward Island 4 in the first, 3 in the second. Nova Scotia got a 3 up, 3 down, my apologies, there in the first, and then a 10 spot. All or nothing sort of game here for Nova Scotia. Nothing in the first and all of it here in the second. Jenna Jackson in the first base box. She says, I'll take it. Thank you very much. Strong. Has her weight back. Slightly bent stance. Waits the offering from Livingston. Gets the call. Keogh didn't quite catch it cleanly, but gets a piece of the corner. Suppose that's all that matters, but pitch definitely fooled Keogh. Maybe Livingston and Keogh not on the same page there in terms of signs, and that one gets a piece of Strong. She'll head down to first, so the base is loaded again. Duck to third, Darib to second, Strong to first, and McFadden, who singled, pitch hitting for Ali Pellerin, coming up with her second at bat, not only in the game, but second in this inning. Livingston deals, and a hit there by McFadden up the middle. That will place Duck. Darib, round third. Could be a play. Livingston cuts it off, and she'll score too. (12-7). 19 runs after 2 innings. A scorer's nightmare, that's for sure. Vanessa Dort, McFadden coming in off the bench. She got an RBI her first at bat. Gets a couple again. I think it was the 2 RBIs before. 2 RBIs again, so a 4 RBI game there for McFadden. Dort with a single. They're going to say back in the second, but it's still the second, so. Here's a grounder. Ford misplays that. And it goes out to left field. Strong puts the brakes on at third. McFadden stays at second, and Dort on at first. The bullpen getting stirring again here as Coach Byrne will bring the troops in. Randy Byrne meeting with his counterparts. David Atkins here trying to get the bullpen going and up once again. Is that bullpen? Emily Albert getting some tossing in. Paquin to the plate, back to the top for Nova Scotia. Infield back, first delivery. Paquin takes a strike. No balls in 1 strike here to the second baseman. Ball that's ripped down the left field line. That will plate strong. McFadden comes around. She'll score as well. Dort up to third. Paquin will remain at first. It really is a football score, 14-7. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Seven straight for Prince Edward Island, 14 straight for Nova Scotia, 14-7. Leah Copeland, the pitcher. Her defense let her down, but the offense has really brought its A game and have gotten her not only a lead, but a big lead. 14-7. There's a strike taken there by the pitcher. Teams have combined for 11 errors, combined for 21 runs, and we still have 5 innings left to go. It's Jenna Pickering, the extra hitter, warming up here. I thought it might have been Albert, but it's Jenna Pickering, the extra hitter, trying to get some tossing in. This will wear on your pitching there, these type of games. Livingston gets the sign from Keogh. Offers. And it's high. One thing you know about Copeland, she's... Don't really want to say this and be mean or anything, but she's just not a real tall player. So of course some of these ones that could be strike for other players, they're not. Change up there by Livingston, and Copeland goes down swinging, and the third out comes in. So they almost batted around twice. 19 players came to the plate that inning for Nova Scotia and scored 14 runs. They were trailing by 7 heading into that at bat, and now they're up by 7 after 2 innings of play here at the Robert Lenahan Field, Bedford, Nova Scotia. You're watching the Under-16 Invitational Girls National Baseball Championships on 360 Live. The tournament's top defensive player and top catcher will each receive a Mizuno glove. Mizuno is the official glove and catcher's equipment supplier for Baseball Canada's national teams. More than 200 professional baseball players depend on Mizuno baseball equipment every day to perform at the game's highest level. Visit MizunoCDA.com. So if you're just joining us, just past 1:30 on the east coast of Canada, my name is Dan Hobson. Delighted you could join us wherever you're watching at 360 Live. 14-7. Yes, 14-7. Nova Scotia leading Prince Edward Island. Prince Edward Island scored 4 in the first, 3 in the second, 7-0. After 1.5, and then Nova Scotia sends 19 to the plate and scored 14 runs in their bottom half of the second. And that's where we stand. Carly Snow will lead it off. Reaches for that one. Darib gives a look, but it goes out of play for a strike against Snow, the second basewoman. She's 0 for 1 this afternoon. Newfoundland leading New Brunswick 3-0. They're in the bottom of the fourth. Of course, with a low-scoring game like that, they're ahead of us. Ball ripped up the middle. Snow finds it. Base hit. Goes towards left center field. Takes a good look, but thinks better of it there. The second baseman there for Prince Edward Island. So the leadoff hitter on here for PEI. Claire Keogh, who grounded out to first back in the first to end that very successful first inning for Prince Edward Island. They send the top first 4 hitters of the game came around and scored. Seems like such a long time ago. Game just past the 1 hour mark. Big swing for Keogh, comes up empty. Paquin and Duck in double play mode here up the middle. That evens the count at 1-1. Keogh out of Borden, Carleton, Prince Edward Island. Goes up high and comes up with nothing that time there. Keogh likes Rodeo Little Nas and Cardi B as her walk-up song. Said she works for the Canadian Baseball Association. Yeah, Cape Traverse. I misspoken where she's from, but it says Cape Traverse according to her bio. And Baseball Atlantic's winning it in 2016 in the under-14. Here's a ground ball up the middle. Duck steps on second for one. Fires over to first, but it won't be a time as Keogh beats it out. 6 unassisted for the first out. Keogh on a fielder's choice. Michaela Taylor to the plate. Grounded out to short. Actually, she reached on an error. It was Graves that was playing for third base at the time. She actually led off the inning, so it was another error for Nova Scotia. They were putting up the errors in that game and in the early going. And if you are like a baseball fanatic, and I'm sure you are, just like a lot of fans and a lot of players, you know that your chances of winning a game, especially when you give up 7 errors, it's definitely probably within the 3 or 4% bracket, or whatever they use to determine the stats and stuff. But it's definitely in that small range. Just getting a piece of that one and fouling him back there is Taylor. Oh, half swing there by Taylor. She was fooled in that one, so she'll walk back as a strikeout victim here. Second out of the inning. And back to the top to Kirsten Rogers. Officially 1 for 1 as she had a fielder's choice in the second and singled to start off the game back in the first. About 67 minutes ago. Change up by Copeland had Rogers well in front there. Strike 1. Rogers steps out of the box, looks at Coach Byrne. Strong. Holding Keogh over there. There's another changeup. Duck fields that cleanly. And over to Strong, and that will retire the side. It's the first time that Nova Scotia hasn't given up any runs in an inning to this Prince Edward Island team. 4 to first for PEI, 3 to second, nothing that time. So head to the bottom of the third. It remains Nova Scotia 14, Prince Edward Island 7. Here on 360 Live's coverage of the 2019 Under-16 Girls Invitational National Baseball Championships. Toronto Blue Jays continue to be an integral part in the development of baseball across Canada. Baseball Canada would like to thank the Jays for their tremendous support to all Baseball Canada National Championships, along with providing their expertise and advice, which continues to enhance the relationship between professional and amateur baseball in Canada. Please visit BlueJays.com. Go Jays, go! Of course, with the Blue Jays, means that they're involved with MLB, and Major League Baseball continues to be a significant contributor to the growth and development of Baseball Canada and its associated programs. Events such as World Baseball Classic provide exposure for Canada's top professional players while generating invaluable media coverage and associated revenue for developmental programming initiatives such as winter ball programs and all Baseball Canada championships. Visit MLB.com. Strong, Ashton, and Hagen, 2 up here for Nova Scotia. Bottom of the third. (7-6-4) for Prince Edward Island. 14-8-7 for Nova Scotia. 7 errors, but they have bounced back with the sticks in that second inning. 14 runs. Livingston back on here in the second inning of relief for Lily Atkins. Atkins had a clean 3 up, 3 down first inning and couldn't get out of the second. This can be a strange game at times, folks. Haley Strong flied out the center and walked. So 0 for 1 so far for the first baseman. Wind starting to go from foul pole to foul pole again, picking up, and our microphone can basically also tell you that story. Strong. Both out of Fall River, Nova Scotia. So there'll be some future Lockview Dragons. Imagine participating in other sports at that school, and nice little school down the road from here. It's a community that's it's almost close to East Hants, but it's still part of the municipality. Nice play there, beautifully done by Snow. She went down, kept it in front of her and from her knees, threw a strike over to Nicholson, and that retires strong. Abby Ashton, it was a tough start for her, a couple of missed plays in the outfield. But she has a single in this one, 1 for 2. That single came back in that very long second inning. She actually started off the inning and grounded out. Just gets a piece. So, of course, I talked about Sheldon McDonald. His wife and daughter, Dana, is actually here attending. You want to talk about love and passion of the sport of game of baseball. I'll tell you a good story here after this pitch here from Livingston. I talked about his complete 7-hitter yesterday. Ashton will have to return as that's fouled. Sheldon McDonald lives in Sydney. His son, Reed, is a third baseman and a shortstop for the Truro Bearcats under-11 team. Sheldon, as I said, pitched yesterday in Miramichi at the Senior National Men's Championships that Sydney is participating in. So he's pitched in the game yesterday, drove down here to Nova Scotia to try to coach that under-11 team as they were playing in provincials. This flied out to center field. The catch made by Surratt. So he's going to come down here, coach the games that they play here, and then probably head back up to the Nationals up in Chatham. And folks in Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia both know that that's not a quick jaunt. That's a long drive. Long drive that Sheldon and Dana and family are putting in. As that's chopped foul there by Chrissy Hagan. Hagan reached base twice and scored twice. 2 for 2. A single and a double. Hits that one down to Ford. Ford having a difficult time handling that one as it took a bounce on her. But she'll say that she should have had it, so it goes down to another error there for Prince Edward Island, and the errors are starting to pile up on their side as well. Should be their 5th one. That's just an interesting story of just saying about for Sheldon McDonald. Here's a ground ball, and that eats up Snow and goes out to center field. Hagan turns on the Jets. Difficulty getting the ball with Surratt. When the umpires, of course, have to circle, Purchase started running towards home plate in case there was a play. Orvik went over to third as Ingrid Himke was watching second, so Duck with a single. Hagan moving up to third. Pretty well know Duck's going on first indication to the plate. Look, she was even leaning and gets a good jump. Keogh was thinking about it and then faked and just decided to throw a changeup back to Livingston. As Claire DeReeves up to the plate. It's funny, this is sort of how one of the other games, when it was a big burst out inning, it was the first 2 outs and then rally started happening. Ground ball right back here. Snow handles it that time, fires over to Nicholson and makes the catch. So Nova Scotia tried to start a 2-out rally. It was aided with an error. They are held off the score sheet here in this 3rd inning, so it keeps the score. Nova Scotia 2, 14. And the Prince Edward Island team 7 after 3 innings of play here at the Robert Lenahan Field in Bedford, Nova Scotia. So now you think maybe that the errors and the offense may be all fixed up could be in for a pretty good finish. But Prince Edward Island has some catching up to do. Newfoundland still leading New Brunswick 4-0 as they play in the bottom of the 6th there on Joan Lenahan Field. Gardner, Surratt, and Ford due up here for Prince Edward Island at the top of the 4th. Copeland back out there for the 4th inning. Emily Gardner has been on base twice and has scored twice. And that's when Prince Edward Island had a 7-0 lead and looked like they were off to the races. The Nova Scotia crowd that came in were very quiet. They got vocal again, and things have sort of settled back down. That misses. Wonder if it has to be an adjustment here for Liam Oravec, the umpire there, as this is a ground ball. Duck will handle that easily. In the dirt, scooped, and because it was a low throw, scooped, and that allowed Gardner to turn on the Jets and get on with an infield single. Or could that be Nova Scotia's 8th error of the afternoon? Victoria Surratt reached on an error. It was one of those swinging bunts back in the 1st inning. Copeland came off and then threw it over the head of Strong, and Strong had to go and get it. And they're going to give her a hit on that one, so Gardner is 2 for 3. 1 for 2 is Victoria Surratt, the center fielder. Gardner goes down, throw well late. Paquin will tag just for show and tell. Copeland deals. There's a breaking ball ripped down the right field line, and that's fair. And that will go into the corner. Gardner scores. On the Jets is Surratt, and she'll go up, standing into third base with a triple. 14-8. Selena Ford, she's been having a little bit of a difficult afternoon with the glove. Batting, she's 2 for 2. 2 singles so far and has scored twice. That's ripped to second base. Paquin has it. The run's going to score as Nova Scotia was playing back to get the out. And Victoria Surratt scores. Makes it 14-9. Jenna Pickering fouls off the first delivery. Paquin once again. Oh, bobbles it. Thought about firing and does it, so another error for Team Nova Scotia. Would give them 8 in this game. Ella Nicholson singled in the first, walked in the second. 1 for 2. Strike there to the first baseman. Well, Emma Gardner's not really having much chance of a rest. She came around and scored here, and now she's gone to the bullpen here for Prince Edward Island, taking some early soft tosses. Looks like she'll be the next one to pitch here for Prince Edward Island. There's a ball that's ripped to left field, and it's taken on a bounce there by Dort. So that found the hole. Pickering had to go halfway, wasn't sure because Ashton was closing in on it. Coach Byrne now going to the plate, so he's gone to the bench here. That's Atkins still coming to the plate to hit. Atkins, of course, was the starting pitcher and then was relieved there by Livingston. Strong's going to play in behind Nicholson. So Nicholson can get a good secondary lead. Copeland deals. Atkins looks at it all the way into Elias Strong's mitt for the strike. That's misses high. Nova Scotia doesn't have much going on in their bullpen. There's the pop. DeReeb may have a play and can't handle as it bounces out. She took a look and saw that that fence was closing in on her. And that might have cost her from catching that ball. So Atkins has a life. Copeland's breaking ball doesn't have much break to it. Pretty well was a flat one that went high. Pickering at second, Nicholson at first. Atkins offers at that one, and she'll go down swinging. And that will be the second out. Carly Snow. To the plate. She walked back in the third. So officially 0 for 1 this afternoon. Ball 1 here to the left-hand hitting second baseman. Duck in behind Pickering there, trying to keep her close, and that's slashed to the left field and into the Joan Lenahan field. Not sure how I feel. If I'm playing left field here, you have the field, and there's balls slicing right back at you. I don't know how I'd feel playing left field. I'd have like one eye on the game and one eye on the back, as this is hit the center field. But Dort can't come up with it, and it takes a strange bounce. Pickering comes around to score. Nicholson had to go halfway, so she'll stay at second. Snow clapping her hands there. She gets an RBI. Up to 14-10. 2 touchdowns for Nova Scotia. Touchdown of the field goal for Prince Edward Island. Now, I don't know about you, but any time that the catcher has to come up and take his gear off, I feel like if you're one of those DJs at a baseball game, I think you'd play the stripper music. Am I the only one that seems to think that one? Anyway, the catcher, Keogh, coming up here. She reached on a fielder's choice back at the third and grounded out to first. Coach Jackson tells Strong to play in behind, so Snow can definitely get a good lead off there from first. Copeland looks over. Keogh will send it over the screen and into the parking lot here of the Robert Lenahan Field. Seventh batter to hit in this inning. And that's popped. Some of the Nova Scotia fans were thinking about making a catch and then thought better of it. We're about pretty well neck and neck with the other games. We were running about a half hour late this afternoon here at Robert Lenahan Field. We had an injury to umpire in the first game. Sue Dofright took a ball right about the chin area. She wears that hockey-style sort of catcher's mask these days. And it's sort of delayed. Copeland handles that comebacker and will send it over to Strong. And that will end it. Prince Edward Island sends 8 to the plate. And they come up with 3 runs here. So we're into double digits, 14-10. As we go to the bottom of the 4th here at Robert Lenahan Field. Manitoba and Quebec 2 will be coming up. We were scheduled to start that one at 3 o'clock. It may, but haven't even got to the halfway point of this one. 24 runs on the board. 14 errors the teams have combined for. So it has definitely not been a pretty one. And as we mentioned, there would be a pitching change. Emma Gardner on to pitch, so there'll be some defensive changes. Lily Atkins will play short. Pretty well same defensive alignment other than that, so. So third pitcher of the afternoon. Atkins out of Stratford, Prince Edward Island. David Atkins, one of the coaches, or father, is coaching on this team. Getting a chance to do some extra warm-up tosses entering this game, so says it Marcus Stroman, favorite player. Hopefully it's still favorite player, even though he's with the New York Mets. New York Mets are starting to come along and come along quickly. That's funny, months ago, Mickey Galloway was in hot water and trying to fight for his job, and now here they are starting to surge. You got pitching, you got something, and they do it. They have, like, you know, Noah Syndergaard. Here's a ground ball back up the middle. Atkins can't handle that one. She was flat-footed, and that ball took a big, juicy bounce. So Elias Strong, which led it off, is on with a hit. Elle McFadden wasn't even in the original starting lineup for Nova Scotia. Pitch hit, and she has come up with a single and a single. So she's has 4 RBIs, I believe, in this one. They throw over and easily back. There is Elias Strong. Good lead here for Strong as that one's outside. Not sure if that was Gardner trying to do a pitch out. Strong staying put. Might have missed the target by a lot, but it's ball 1 as Gardner looks over. Nicholson holding Elias Strong on. There's the pitch. McFadden looks at ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes here to the right fielder. Double play depth here as Snow and Atkins looking to turn 2. Gardner fires. Here's a ground ball. Nicholson steps on first for one. Will send it over to second and not in time. Strong moves up. McFadden on the ground out. Dort, who's got 2 singles in this one. Two for 2. Playing left field here this afternoon in this one. Gardner with the look back to Elias Strong as a breaking ball. It's a bouncer. Gardner misplays it, hits a glove, and all hands are safe. Gardner got what she wanted, but couldn't handle the biscuit. And it's runners at first and second. 1 down to the top of the order, Packwood. 1 for 2. Grounded to first, back in the first. A long time ago, even though we are in the 4th inning, bottom of the 4th. Walked in the second and singled in the second, so she had, yes, 2 at-bats in that second inning. A big second inning for Team Nova Scotia as they played at 14. So all their runs came in that second inning. PEI with 4 in the first and 3 in the second. Here's a ball there. Snow with the backhand to Lily Atkins. And Atkins makes a nice play, and Dort is retired. On the 4-6. Paquin with the fielder's choice. Leah Copeland trying to get in on this hitting party here for Nova Scotia. Grounded out, flied out to second, and then walked in the. Let me try that again. Flied out to second in the first, and then walked in the second, and struck out in the second. Low for a ball, and the throw there by Keogh A little bit low, but Gardner handles it anyway. And Van Dort will go up, or Pacwa will go up to second base. Goes upstairs, comes up with nothing. Copeland doesn't offer. Surratt getting vocal there, and that breaking ball, and the breaking ball not working very well for Gardner. It looks more like a pitch out and well off its mark. Gardner with a good look back. The second base, and then offers, and that one's high. Copeland in the driver's seat now. And that's down. Copeland looks back and says, yep, that's ball 4, so she'll take her base. Haley Strong, and to the mound is Keogh. Strong's been stuck over there at third base for a while there for Team Nova Scotia. She led off the inning with a single. Getting a piece there is her sister Haley Strong, chipping that one back for strike 1. 0-1 the count. That throw is high and goes to the outfield, and Strong thought about going and thought better of it. Well, with 16 errors here in this game, it goes to show you that it has been not really a Picasso. Now, you don't see that often, is that the pitcher started walking back, and Nicholson was, of course, playing in behind Copeland, so Copeland has a good lead there on first base. Now they'll throw over, and look what results in that one is they're not on the same page, and Strong will come in to score. And also coming around to score is Paquin. You could just sort of see that they were not on the same page on that one because Gardner started walking over on the previous one. Nicholson was playing it behind. Throw gets in the runner, goes into foul territory, down along the fence. Here's a chopper down the third base line. Ford with the throw, and gets the out. That's got to feel good for her. It's been a difficult afternoon there on the hot corner there for Selena Ford, but gets the out. And the final out for Team Nova Scotia, but they managed to tack on a couple of more to make it 16-10. I'll get everybody up to date on what's going on at the Joan Lenahan field. Newfoundland blowing that one open there. 9-0 as they head into the bottom of the 6th. Nova Scotia 16 and Prince Edward Island 10, 26 runs. New pitcher on here for Team Nova Scotia. It's Leah Sauvert. She pitched at one of the games yesterday. Second relief appearance here at the championships here for the Windsor, Nova Scotia native. Leah Copeland will stay in the game. She'll move to third base, so it's a double switch. So Sauver will take the 7th spot. In the batting order, Caitlin Graves started at third base, and then Derebe came in and played third. So here's a pitch that's inside there to Michaela Taylor. So it's the 10, 1, and 2 hitters here in the 5th inning. Here's a ground ball that Packwood can't handle as it goes out to right field for a base hit. Packwood got as low as she possibly can and came up empty. The leadoff hitter on here for Prince Edward Island. Back to the top, Kirsten Rogers. One for 3, Rogers is. She singled back in the first and then reached on a fielder's choice and grounded out to short. And another fielder's choice for her as they'll get the lead runner, Taylor. The pitcher, Emily Gardner, now to the plate, left-hand hitter. Strong holding the runner on in a 6-run game. And that's just foul. Didn't miss by much. Had extra bases written all over it if it stayed in fair territory. Rogers sneaking away, and now she'll get a good secondary lead, and she'll easily walk in the second. Uncontested, it will go down officially as a stolen base, but she was getting a good lead, sneaking, sort of maybe like a little delayed steal, and off to the races. So now she's at second. Sauver to the plate, fouled off by her pitcher counterpart. Lands on the hitting cage. Rain starting to come down, I think. I hear it hitting our broadcast location tent. Probably just one of those sun showers. Or in fact, the umpire says, Sauver, let's go. Here we go. Oh, with not much break to it, it doesn't drop in time. Fouled back to the screen and over. Sauver getting the sign there from Elias Strong, the left-hand catcher. Don't see those often. Ground ball, and that will get through to left field. Station to station there for Kirsten Rogers, as she'll stay at third, and Gardner gets on with a single. Well, Surratt, she's been on all 3 times in this game and has scored 3 times. Reached on an air in the first and scored, singled back in the second and scored, and tripled back in the fourth. Came around and scored. Well, when you have a game that's high as this one, 6 runs, a lot of offensive stars sort of stick out, and she's having herself a day at the dish. Ball in the dirt. A good one there for Gardner to go. She'll go into second base. Pretty well was off on the first indication to the plate there by Sauvert. So second and third, one ball to count here to the center fielder. Sauvert from the stretch again. Hesitates, the 1-0 offering, a breaking ball that they're swing and a miss, I guess. The way that Nova Scotia was acting make you think that they missed it completely and that the runners could have gone up an extra base, but no harm, no foul. Long wait there by Sauvert. There's another breaking ball that's fouled back. Going pretty well from, as I say, foul pole to foul pole, blowing right straight across. Sauvert thought about faking there to third, trying to get Lily Atkins to, or pardon me, Rogers head back. Such similar builds to it. There's a base hit. Dort manages to knock it down. Rogers scores. Gardner comes around and she'll score. Perfect day at the plate. 2 RBIs there for Surratt. 4. Actually 3 for 4, but she'll take it. Selena Ford, who's gotten 2 singles here in this one. Those both back in the first and the second, then grounded out to second in the fourth. Ball gets by Elias Strong. Ball 1, and just like that, Surratt moves up to second base. Sometimes you just almost want to ask and say, does anybody really want this ball? Reaching out there for that one is Ford. Packwood difficulty, still has time. It does throw out Ford. That's the first out. Surratt goes up to third. Verifies how many outs there are. Extra hitter Jenna Pickering to the plate. Copeland's in on the corner. And they will throw over. You don't see throw over a lot to third. That's a rarity. Then again, a team that gives up 8 errors, and Prince Edward Island has equaled that now, has 9. A team with 17 errors in this one. I was going to say a team that has more errors usually doesn't win too many ball games either. Nova Scotia's errors came early. They had 7 after, I think, the first 2 innings. Pickering with a pop that goes over the screen and out. Hits the scorekeeper's tent. And behind the backstop of the Robert Lenahan Field. Sauvert gets the side from Strong. Deals. And throws a changeup, and Pickering goes down swinging as she pulled the string. For the second out, Ella Nicholson to the plate. Officially 2 for 2. Nineteen pitches there for Sauvert. That was actually the end of the inning as, of course, Taylor started it. So So we head to the bottom of the fifth now. Nova Scotia 2, 16. Prince Edward Island 12. And it's been well, you've seen everything in this game. Pretty well, the only words that I've got to really describe it is that it has seen its share of good plays defensively. It's also seen its share of bad plays defensively. And 17 errors the teams have combined. The teams have combined for 8 runs. Not often that you see that. Really not often. So Ashton due up here at the bottom of the fifth. One for 3 is Ashton. That hit came back in that second inning, that 13-run inning. Since then, Nova Scotia has managed to tack on another 2. That came in the 4th. Line score for Nova Scotia, 16, 8, and 8. Prince Edward Island, 12, 13, and 9. I don't think I've ever been at a game where there has been 9 errors on one side and 8 on the other. It's been definitely a tough afternoon for the defenders here on both teams. Dealing from Gardner misses high. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. That will be strike 3, but it gets past Keogh, and you're not going to get Ashton with those Jets as she'll get on courtesy of a strikeout. So this will send Chrissy Haggett to the plate. She's having herself a championships, not only pitching-wise but hitting-wise. Reached on an error back of the third and has a single and a double. Very close stance. Reaches for that one. Sets it down to Lily Atkins, and safe, says Ingrid Helmke. It was a soft toss to second. Not much mustard on it, and Ashton, which we talked about, has the Jets beat it out. Hagen with a fielder's choice. Maggie Duck to the plate. And she'll go opposite field. Gets through the infield and to the outfield. And Ashton will come around and score to make it 17 for Nova Scotia. Hagen up to third. Duck with a single and an RBI. Pardon me, Duck didn't go the opposite way. She's a left-hand hitter, so she pulled that one through the infield defense. Leah Sauvert. So just when Prince Edward Island needed a shutdown inning, they started chipping away, and another run. It's 5-run deficit now, 17-12. Duck going on first. Move to the plate. That's a ball 1, and Duck easily standing up. Left-hand hitting shortstop. Atkins tapping the glove just to say I'm in the neighborhood of Duck, just so she doesn't get a good secondary lead and get a good lead off. Ball 2 here to the pitcher, 2-0. You can sort of tell that she's a pitcher. Cleanest white pants so far at the championships here for Team Nova Scotia. Silvera was in a relief appearance yesterday. Breaking ball at Silvera, swings and gets just a piece of. Sends it to the backstop.
Okay. All right. I'll call you tonight. But don't get all wound up. We're just going to change it back to full pay. As soon as,
It's a final there at the Joan Linehan Field. Newfoundland over New Brunswick 9-2. Ball hit the center field. And a nice play there by Surrett. No advancement there by Team Nova Scotia, as that was just hit right on a line. So they're showing that she could hit. Elias Strong here, so. That's the first out here for Nova Scotia here in the bottom of the fifth. They're threatening again. There's a ball down to first. Just first, thought about coming home. In the meantime, Hagen touches the plate. They'll tack on another one. So Elias Straw will go down, ground it out to first, but she'll get an RBI. 2 outs is Elle McFadden to the plate. Close stance here for the left-hand hitting right fielder. A little bit of a toe tap in the batter's box area. Waiting for the delivery here from Gardner. Deals. And that will go to the backstop, and Duck gets on her horse and scores. A throw well late, and Gardner away. As the wind picks up. Snow walks the ball in. It just taps her teammate on there. It's 19-12 now. So they've tacked here in this inning. Game coming up to the 2-hour mark to be exact. I believe we started around 12:29. It's 2:29 now, so. Man in the stands here on the Prince side. He's got his head down. I don't know if he's looking at the phone or if he's sleeping. I'm not sure. In this heat, it's pretty easy to sleep. Heat and humidity. McFadden looks at ball 4. Vanessa Dort. 2 for 3 today. A single back in the second. And once again, another single back in the second. That was the big bat around 14-run inning for Nova Scotia. They've managed to put 3 more up here. And 2 in the fourth. And that will get past Keogh. She's having a rough afternoon. It's been a busy one for her. Lots of balls in the dirt and lots have gotten past her. Seven-run game and not much chatter from Prince Edward Island, but you could hear center fielder getting very vocal, Victoria Surrett. To this here for Prince Edward Island. Dort, the right hand hitting left fielder. Waits the offer from Gardner. It's on its way. That's well high. Has to duck again. decides, well, I don't like the way the baseball grip is, so she'll wipe the ball against her pant leg and gets ready to offer here. Looks McFadden back to second. Snow was right there, got in behind. I'm not sure if McFadden saw that or not, so they were going to try to sneak in and try to pick her off second base. Snow tapping the glove once again to say, I'm in the neighborhood. Letting McFadden know you're there, and Dort looks at ball 4. Coach Atkins will actually head out to the plate. He's pitcher's mound, my apologies, to talk to Gardner. It's first and second as they head back to the top of the order for Jesse Paquin. Bullpen quiet for Prince Edward Island. Still lots on the bench there for Coach Byrne. Karis Jelly, Georgia Gallant, Alyssa Perry, Katie McDonald, Emily Albert, and Maddie Arsenault, whichever she likes to be called by. Breaking ball. Strike 1. Packwood steps out. Gets the sign there from third base coach McFadden here. And she gets back in the box, waiting for the 0-1 delivery here from Gardner. Misses high, so that will even the count at 1. Dort at first. McFadden at second. 2 outs here in this bottom of the 5th. Nova Scotia has 3 on the board. Looking for more. Ball ripped up the middle. That will get through the middle infield. McFadden, she'll score. Dort looks like she's going to turn on the Jets as the ball gets stuck in the fence, and she'll score. Slides in, ball well late. Five spot here for Team Nova Scotia. Paquin with a single and 2 RBIs. Third basewoman Leah Copeland. 5th appearance at the plate this afternoon here for Team Nova Scotia 2. As she decides to step out. Coach McFadden going to get more instructions from one of the other coaching staff members. That's the reason why she stepped towards the dugout, and that's a ball. Keogh comes out and looks Paquin back to second base before throwing the ball back to Gardner. Gardner sets. Atkins gets readjusted, was holding Paquin, and it's a ball in the dirt, and Paquin there with some good heads up, a good secondary lead, easily goes into third. Runs combined in this game. Gardner looks Paquin back to third. Copeland gets a piece and sends it to the screen. Kind of had a feeling once PEI scored 4 in the first and 3 in the second that be in for a high-scoring affair, but I didn't think we'd see 33 on the board between these teams. 19 errors combined. Foul over the screen. Just Nova Scotia fan base in attendance here at the Robert Lenahan Field. Copeland with a pop. And Snow comes down and hits the dirt and takes a little bit of a cartwheel in the process. Makes the catch, but she has a little bit of a stinger really favoring her neck area. She's going back to the Prince Edward Island dugout. So she's got to get herself checked out. Five more for Nova Scotia. They'll take a 21-12 lead as they head to the 6th inning. If you look out on the field and see those well-dressed umpires, we'd like to let you know they're wearing the official umpire apparel from Kahuna Verse Sports Group. Kahuna Verse Sports Group is the official supplier of umpire clothing to Baseball Canada. Clothing is just one small part of the Kahuna Verse Sports Group. Umpire supplies, equipment, shoes, and accessories are all part of their line as well. Get in the game with Kahuna Verse Sports Group. Ella Nicholson, Lily Atkins, and Carly Snow, the first three here for Prince Edward Island in the top of the 6th. And do not adjust your set. You're watching this game on here on 360 Live. My name is Dan Hobson. 21-12. Nova Scotia leading. Ella Nicholson, she's got a single in this one. Actually, has a couple of singles and walked in the second, so. Of course, when you have 33 runs on the plate, there's a lot of offense going on. Ground ball to third. Copeland comes up with it, fires over, and Strong man on. A little bit of a low throw, but she'll handle it there for the first out. Lily Atkins, the shortstop. Reached on an error back in the first when she began the game pitching for Team Prince Edward Island. Grounded out and struck out in the 4th. She'll pop this one up and duck. Makes the catch. Carly Snow. Good to see that she's still able. She made that diving catch. She caught the play. Was going down to the Robert Lenahan dirt infield. It looked like she had a stunner. Was favoring her neck as she went back. First pitch swinging. Sends it down to Strong. Strong. Paquin with some great heads up as Sauvert. Paquin saved Sauvert's derriere that time as Sauvert did not go over on those ground outs, and Paquin with the good heads up to. It's not often that you see a 3-4. First base to second base on an out like that, but that is our second no runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left on inning in this game. We had one for Nova Scotia back in the top of the first. Prince Edward Island just gets their first one here in the 6th. So ahead to the remains Nova Scotia 21, Prince Edward Island 12. Here from the Robert Lenahan Field. That's what's so tough is that sometimes, when teams and players play on different teams all year long and then get to play at this and don't really get a chance to interact with each other, don't really know each other's skills and stuff, but it's pretty well baseball 101. If you throw a pitch and it's grounded over to first, take the steps over to run it over to first base that in case you can take the toss. But luckily, Paquin saw that was coming and with some smart baseball IQ on her behalf, really bailed out Sauvert in that one. But of course, it's a developmental league, so you're going to learn. Just like pretty well everything in society and everything work-wise, career-wise. Heck, if even relationship-wise, you got to learn from your mistakes. Gardner back out here for Prince Edward Island. Haley Strong, Abby Ashton, and the hitters due up in this bottom of the sixth. I'm going to ask this question. This is just for the general, everybody watching on 360 Live or people that are here below listening to our call of the game. Do you think that our next game is going to really start at 3 o'clock? It's 2:43. Back up the middle there for Strong, base hit. We'll send Abby Ashton to the plate. Looks down and gets the sign from Coach McFadden there. Ashton. One for four today, and on first instinct, Strong takes off. No contest as she's easily in, standing up. Coming out. Team Manitoba here, they're waiting in the wings here. Of course, they'll be taking on Quebec too. Abby Ashton going down south to try to come up with that with nothing. Definitely one that she'd like to have back. Swinging at a ball. There's a breaking ball. There's a bouncer. Atkins. High throw, but Nick goes up and makes the catch. Strong at third with Hagen coming up. Coach Bird to the pitcher's mound. Not sure if he's going to make a pitching change. Nobody's been up in that bullpen there for Prince Edward Island. I wonder if they're just going to put to Hagen and pitch the Duck. Might be a possibility. Well, you can see that pretty well that they are playing in. They have to really cut down this run because if it scores, it's the Murphy rule that would come into effect. So they're playing in. Outfield is also a little bit in as well. thinking that if they could get a ground ball, they can come up to the plate throwing. It's almost like the same idea as when you're into like the bottom of the ninth, that type of mentality. The game-winning runs at third base, and that's pretty well what this is the mercy runs at third. Hagen pops up. Keogh has a play. She come up with it? Yes, she does. And that's a big out. So now the defense can go back into normal positioning for Maggie Duck. She scored 3 runs this afternoon, has Duck, the left-handed shortstop. Hitter in the shoe tops. Leah Sauvert. Sauvert was maybe thinking, well, if I could keep my pitch count here at the championships low, a nice single here for me would put this one on ice. Gardner hoping to keep it alive. Duck going. There's another pop, and it will go into the area of baseball players. I think that might be, I think that's Ontario looking on. Luckily, nobody got that ball in the old nug. 0-1 count here to the pitcher out of Windsor. And it's a ground ball there. And played as Alyssa Perry's in the game, playing second base now with the throw over. So we will head to the top of the 7th. Prince Edward Island has some work cut out for them. They'll have Keogh, Taylor, and Rogers due up for them in the 21-12 game. So Vera was kind of hoping, man, if I could have got a single there, it would have been done this game, but now she'll go back out here. Once again, another relief appearance for her here at these championships. Back, I think, for her 3rd inning. I think the players would even like this one to end. 33 runs in this one. Errors up to 19 errors. 19 errors. Have you ever seen a game where you have 19 errors? I've never seen such a thing. And see sort of the reaction from some of the fans thinking, man, this game is crazy. Well, it's had its everything, that's for sure. We've seen some good plays and opposite of that too. Coach Byrne going to empty the bench here. As I said, it was Keogh. This is actually going to be Alyssa Perry hitting in the Keogh spot here in the order. Alyssa Perry. First at bat of the day, defensive replacement there for Carly Snow back in the last half inning. She reaches for that one, sends it to Duck at short. Fires over, throw a little bit high, but Strong with that tall frame of hers comes up with it. Maddie Arsenault pitch hitting here for Michaela Taylor. And she's first pitch swinging, rips at the duck. Duck once again. And Katie McDonald to the top of the order now. Pitch hits for Rogers. Prince Edward Island down to their final out. Katie McDonald out of Mount Stewart, Prince Edward Island. Entering grade 10 at Morel Regional High School. Left-hand hitter. So Maddie Arsenault, she of course is out of Albany, Prince Edward Island. Wants to be a child psychologist. Is a future passion of hers that she wants to pursue as a career. Just a piece of it is McDonald. And we saw Alessa Perry out of Harrington, Prince Edward Island. 5 years of softball, now making the adjustment to baseball. And she wants to be a veterinarian, so Coach Bird emptying the bench here. Meantime, McDonald will head down on a walk. So Karis Jelly, Georgia Gallant, and Emily Albert left on the bench here for Prince Edward Island. Eve Taylor, the only one left for Team Nova Scotia so far. Reed was in. Sauvert is in, and El McDonald came in early. The ball hit down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Gardner says, hold off. We're going to stick around a little bit longer. McDonald to second base. Victoria Surrett. She has been the pepper pot here for this team, Prince Edward Island. Very vocal. Doesn't change the way that she plays. Doesn't let the score really reflect. Comebacker, and this will be handled by Coach. She steps on the bag to end the 7th inning and end the ball game. Prince Edward Island comes up with no runs there in that 7th inning, and they will fall to Nova Scotia 21-12. Game that almost took 2.5 hours to play in the third game on our docket. It was supposed to start at 3 o'clock. We'll probably push that to 3:30, so that's a programming note for everybody. Manitoba and Quebec 2 was supposed to schedule at that time. We will probably start at 3:30 as they're going to groom the field. We'll stick around for the player of the game presentation. Lots of offensive stars here for them to pick in this one. Vern Acker, the longtime PA announcer for these championships, getting the final word of who the player of the game is from both teams. And he'll pass that information along to the crowd here at the Robert Linehan Field.